Hey guys, I'm Georgina. So I'm the product manager of DFI and the presenter of today's the webinar, Workload Consolidation to Accelerate Gaming Solutions. And today we also have another the guest presenter with us, Fred. And Fred is the software manager of DFI. So say hi to everyone, Fred.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm Fred.
Okay, so that DFI a software team has been working on workload consolidation technology for more than 3 years, and we would like to share our findings and experience about how to innovatively use workload consolidation technology for gaming environment. Okay, so before we start, let's have a look about today's agenda. First, we will have a brief talk about why we need workload consolidation and why it can benefit us. And then we would like to show our the studies about how workload consolidations works with the gaming products. And then Fred will provide some technical information about workload consolidation. And we also want to introduce DFI's new outstanding gaming product, GM331-CSFS, which includes some new gaming functions, and I believe that will intrigue the customers. Okay, so when the word workload consolidation comes to our mind, the first question to come is that why do we need workload consolidations? And why is it good to us and who need it? Workload consolidation becomes more and more popular when the era of Industrial 4.0 comes. As we know that the factory requires lots of the facilities to operate production. In old days, these facilities have independent platforms and they communicate with each other by different ports. And since the technology is advancing, the users are to expect to use new technology to reduce the platforms while achieving to the same facility functions. So about workload consolidation, it's the act of combining the multiple operations into fewer platforms with a reduced infrastructure and making better use of existing resources. In other words, it means consolidating your computing system to reduce the number of platforms, the number of boards, and other resources. The above, the definition is from the internet, the data. So we know that there are many benefits from using workload consolidations, which can help us to use less space and less power and also produce less heat to generate the systems. And the most important is that it can help the users to spend less money to purchase the factory facilities. Okay, so the next slide shows that there are two typical types of workload consolidation technologies. The type one is virtualization, which is also the one DFI suggests to implement to the gaming solutions. And the second one is containerization technologies. And from the infrastructure drawing, we can know that VM is developed by the hypervisor. And the container use Docker to build the second or third OS through the same platform. And also we will have more the explanations to compare VM with container in the following the sections. So of course, we want to use that to apply to the gaming products. So here is a structure about a slot machine. So from this slide, you can see that the left side is a slot machine, and we use a DFI's mainboard, KD331, to create three independent OS to simulate the slot machine to operate in a casino. And because of that, we don't we don't have a slot machine game title. So we run the OpenVINO for the first OS. And we let the second OS play the video to simulate the eighth. And also the third OS to represent ID tracker to read the membership data. And then you will see that a video clip to demonstrate the VM technology to run the above the working model. Okay, so now we finish the video and we come back to see our slides. Okay, so the next section is that I'm going to ask Fred 3 questions and he's going to help us to understand more about workload consolidation by the 3 questions. So the first one is that what's the difference between VM technology and the containerization technology and which one's better?
Okay, we can go back to the previous slide to see the difference between VM and container. Okay. VM constructs by hypervisor technology with DFI uses ACRN. So we will explain VM structure based on hypervisor ACRN. From the illustration, we can see that through hypervisor, we can create several independent OS. And VM can allocate hardware resource and IOs to a specific OS. These IOs are different OS can work independently without affecting with each other. Whereas container infrastructure requires a Docker above host OS and 3 different OS are made by the Docker. But container cannot allocate the hardware resource. The IOs are shared by several OS. I couldn't say which one is better. VM's advantage is OS has its own hardware resource, but its advantage is each motherboard needs to build the exclusive VM and it is quite time and human resource consuming. Containers advantage is it's easier and quick to build, but disadvantage is we couldn't guarantee hardware resource to the specific OS because they are shared by several OS.
Oh, okay, thanks, Fred. Okay, but we still have the second question. The second question is that why do we select VM technology to set up gaming environment? Is there any particular VM advantage to favor gaming solutions?
Okay, as we know that gaming product, no matter is slot machine or arcade machine in amusement park, these machines are used to and exposed by consumers. which means we don't expect errors happen or any device of the machine are late to respond. Although VM technology costs more time to develop it, it can make sure the device of the machine won't affect with each other because they have independent OS and hardware resource. And that's the reason why we select VM technology to do the study and experiment.
Okay. So that's the final question that are there any resources conflicts in hardware when operating three OS on the same platform?
The answer is no. Once VM infrastructure is done and after verification and field test, we don't see any conflicts between hardware when operating three OS. The reason is clear, as just mentioned above. The IOs of three OS are fully isolated. Actually, how efficient VM can run, it is more dependent on the hypervisor itself, such as how big the memory capacity hypervisor can support, etc. From our perspective, hardware is not the limit of using VM technology.
Okay, so thanks, Fred, to join us. And although that we only have three questions, but it can help us to quickly to understand how the workload consolidation to operate. So thanks a lot. Okay, so now we are at the final section, and I'm going to introduce DFI's new coming gaming product, which is GN331-CSFS. Okay, so because that the long is quite the name is quite long, so I'm going to call that GN331 in short. And this is a high-end gaming AIO box PC with Intel's 8th and 9th the generation CPU. And also it has a PCI expansion slot to support high-end the graphic card. And also that you don't need to provide the power to the high-end card because that our member can supply with the DC the DC in and with the 12 voltage to the high-end card. Also that GN331 is equipped with the strong gaming functions, such as that we have the basic, the 16 DI and DO, and which can be upgraded to up to 48. So that by an IO expansion card. Also, we have a function called the smart meter function, and which is a very intelligent design to help our customer to record the meter's value when power is off. And also that the system can know that if the meter's the voltage is not normal, or the meter is already disconnected, and to release the alarm to the system. And the GM331 also comes with the other important gaming functions as like the intrusion detection, the BIOS write protect, and the jurisdiction BIOS, which is a kind of the security build function, which is invented by DFI, and also being tested and approved by GLI. All the gaming related functions are all provided with the SDK to let the customer to know how to use our system. And also that if we also have the API, so that all the customer can maneuver the system very easily. If you are interested in GN331, you can just send us the email and to let us know. We can provide you more detailed the information about this product. Okay, so let's see a scenario how to use GM331 with the workload consolidation in the casino. Okay, so that you can see that the slot machine they have 3 or 4 the panels with the different sizes, and also they do the different things. And here that if you use the GM 331, we recommend that because this is a very high-end gaming the box PC. So you can use that to run the game and also to show the score for the 2 panels, and also that you can create the second OS as the workload consolidations to run the 8. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to wrap up, and if you have any questions, you can send us the emails. And here we like to hear your voice. So please help us to scan the QR code and to do the survey for us to help us to improve. Okay, so thank you very much to join us. And I know that because of the COVID-19, and I believe that our customer all have very hard time during the 2020. But I believe that we can make the future gaming world being good, and we expect that we have a very good year for 2021. Thank you very much.